Well, first of all, welcome to the Wellness and Lifestyle Medicine Symposium. I am Amit Gudigoli, the current president of the Texas Indo-American Physician Society, the Northeast chapter, the TIPS NEC president. And I would like to personally welcome each and every one of you and thank you all for being here on a Saturday morning. We have about 200 attendees, so this is already a great success. It shows how much interest there is in this topic. So give yourselves a big round of applause. This is the 14th CLE that TIPS NEC is conducting. And this is the first one we are having on wellness and lifestyle medicine. And also the first one we are partnering with County Medical Society. So we're very excited to be partnering with the Dallas County Medical Society. You know, the currency of health should be wellness and not treatment of illness. However, in the last several decades, the pendulum has swung to the right. So we've all become people who treat illnesses. And I, as a cardiac electrophysiologist, am the poster child for the current healthcare status. I put defibrillators in patients with prior heart attacks and cardiomyopathy and EF of 20%. So it's a little ironic that this symposium should occur when I am the president. However, this happened, it kind of happened all of a sudden, but last year I had no inkling that we would be here. I have to give credit to an inspiration I got from the last API. API is the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. So they had a convention in San Antonio last summer, and they had a wellness track, and I happened to sign up for that. And I have to say, the kind of lectures I heard there from these absolutely awesome people, who are not only great speakers, who not only have great content, but it's their life's mission to spread the word of wellness and lifestyle medicine. So, and I have to give a shout out to Dr. Ravi Kohli, the current president of API, who's been kind enough, he flew in from Pittsburgh to be here. So thank you, Ravi. So, when I got back to Dallas, I said, we got to do something and spread this word to bring this to our physicians, our TIPS members and the larger physician community. So the first thing I did was I called our very own Dean Ornish, our very own wellness guru, Dr. Anup Kumar Shetty. As many of you know, he has conducted several symposiums like this on wellness and given talks. So he and I sat together and came up with this vision. But of course, a vision without execution is an illusion, as they say. So there are many people behind this, and I would like to take 30 seconds to thank a few of those. Of course, the first is our CME chairs, Dr. Anup Kumar Shetty and Dr. Winnie Bapna. Dr. Bapna couldn't be here. She had to go back to India to attend to something, but everything's all right. She's here in spirit and she sends her best wishes. I also have to thank our CME committee, who is so dedicated and came up with great ideas, great suggestions, and of course our board, the TIPS NEC 2023 Board of Officers. And special thanks to the Dallas County Medical Society, Dr. Donna Casey, the president, and John Roth, the CEO. And they were excited to partner with us, and they helped promote the event. They've been great partners. I also need to thank our sponsors, without whom some of these things would not have been possible. The main platinum sponsors have been IntraCare, AstraZeneca, and Novo Nordisk. We do have a lunch talk by IntraCare and 2 product theater talks during lunch by AstraZeneca and Novo Nordisk, so please attend them. Of course, these are our other sponsors. We got to take care of this flashing. By the end of the evening, by the end of the day, people will be dizzy if they continues.
Thank you, Darshan. We are behind the clock. Now let me introduce Sumana Gangi. She is the incoming president for TIPS. She is going to introduce another Dr. Mehta. That was by design, putting 2 Mehtas together.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all enjoying this very meaningful session today. It's just one talk now between you and the lunch, so let's get ready and be more attentive so we can be done on time. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Sejal Mehta, my dear friend. She is a triple board certified psychiatrist, child and adolescent psychiatry and addiction medicine. She has many feathers on her hat. She was the past president of TIPS. She was the past president of Collin Fannin County Medical Society. She is the current chair for Physician Wellness Committee at TMA, and she was the chair for International Medical Graduates at TMA. With that, Dr. Mehta, welcome on board.
Hello everyone. We are going to make this a fun, okay? By the way, Darshan, your speech was amazing, and everyone else, we are not related, but he was great. All Mehtas are great. One other thing we need to do is people who are a little vertically challenged, we need to redesign the podium. Don't you guys think that? I mean, half of you cannot even see me. Your loss, not mine. Okay, so this is the ethic presentation that we are doing. I have been blessed and really privileged to be part of Texas Medical Association Physician Health and Wellness Committee. I have been chair for the past 3 years and affiliated with that for about 10 years now. And I have contributed in creating so many ethic CMEs that we take in the state of Texas. We have to have that. And I have learned so much from all the material that we had to go through to create those courses, and also interacting with physicians across the state of Texas. I also work serve as a board member for Texas PHP, that is Physician Health Program, which is under Texas Medical Board, and that program works with the physicians who are impaired in whichever way. And it is the reason I'm bringing that here is, please do not think that just because you are of Indian origin, you are immune from any substance use disorder or depression or bipolar mood disorder. Our Indian physicians are also dealing with that, and when the name comes, and if I know someone, I have to excuse myself from that, but I cringe when I see an Indian name on that list. And so please, hold your hand or each other's hand and help each other out. That is absolutely important. Can I take this mic off the stand? Thank you. It's just that I have to see you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to talk about, looks like I have been playing with this too while talking. I won't bore you with all this, okay? But how many here today are of Indian origin? Okay, maybe the better question would be, who is not here that is of Indian origin? Few. In India, in Sanskrit, in Sanatan, in Vedas, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What that means is the whole world is one family. So for this session, please consider yourself that you are Indian, you are part of the family, so that whatever we are going to talk about would make a little bit more sense, okay? Welcome to the family, by the way. Generation Z and mental wellness. So if we look at the Generation Z, what is it? We sometimes don't even pay attention. The reason this topic came into being is because I work with several physicians here who are of Indian origin. They have their kids who are born here for the most part, and they wonder that what did I do wrong here? What's happening to my child? Why my child is doing this, that? And then a lot of conversation ensues, and then, okay, this was the request actually. Can you talk about this generation? Can you tell us what do we do with our kids? So I'm like, yeah, I'll try. I mean, you know. And then while I was looking for Generation Z information, I came across Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha is kids born since 2013 who are actually now 10 years old, and we are dealing with a lot of important things, and their whole world is totally different than what yours and mine was. They are all online. So, here is the thing, that our son Jeffrey, right here, living with us, but eventually he plans to move to one of those nearby, newly discovered planets that are capable of supporting life. Kids nowadays. So what is Generation Z? I have one in my home, so I exactly know, and some of you too. Kids born after 1998 till 2012 is Generation Z. It's this different generation than how we were brought up. Now, all generations are different, but this is very peculiar. In America, white Generation Zers are only slightly majority, 52. And so most of them are, like 48% of this generation is of color. Now, this is a major shift that was not happening in generations before. There are 6% Asian, and black Generation Zers are about 14%, and majority are not immigrants. They are born here, so they are Americans. They are racially and ethically diverse, and they are progressive, and they are pro-government. They want government to take care of them. This is a global generation because they are all online. Social media is a very powerful tool, and 95% of these kids have reported that they all have smartphone. This was in 2018, so now it's 100% of them have smartphone. And instant gratification. If they don't get a like the second after they have posted something on Instagram, the world is ending. World is ending at that moment. Diversity is really, this generation saw the first African-American president. So diversity is top on their list. They do have very diverse family structures. Most of the time, up until the generation before, 2 mothers or 2 fathers in a family was not a norm. This generation is becoming a norm. Single parent household, extremely common. Almost 70% of Generation Zers have either mother, mostly mother, or father as a parent in the home. Talk about role modeling. They don't get it. They are not getting the role modeling from mom and dad, both to see how one behaves in a relationship. Relationship is a dance. These kids don't get to see that. In a way, they don't get to see them argue either, which is a good thing. They are less faced with previous generation by sexual orientation or religion or race. They are more open-minded and they are more accepting of differences. These young adults have little to no financial security, and COVID has made everything worse for this generation. 50% are getting basic living expenses covered, 35% are already paying off student loan, and 30% have dipped into their retirement account, which is like a baby tiny slim account by now. They have already taken money out from them. 70% are saving some for retirement, I mean, I have my staff, that is that Generation Z, she puts $10. That at least $10 is good that she's doing it, but she could have done much more. Cryptocurrency, I mean, you and I are gonna be, at least I am, scared of cryptocurrency still. But this generation, they embrace it very quickly. And only 9% have great deal of understanding of asset allocation. Well, they can say that about us too. So. And this is what we are going to get as our kids are going to bring this. Hey Dad, he's a writer. He's the author of several popular hashtags. Digitally, these guys are natives. They are born in digital era. Technological innovation is, robust. Look at that, what we are able to do. And that is also changing the economy. And there is a broad knowledge. We know what's happening in Ukraine or Syria or India as it is happening. And that has positive and negatives. So, look at this. 95% of Generation Z is using YouTube regularly. The Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok has gone up, and Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp is left for us oldies. So what are their issues? These are some things that is very close to their heart. Healthcare, higher education, economic security, civic engagement, race equality, environment, and mental health. Healthcare, affordable care, right? Everyone, universal care, everyone has a right to healthcare. We all know that as a physician, old physicians, we have very strong feelings about that. But these kids, it's their right. Medicaid is expanding, ever expanding. They like the convenience, efficiency, and transparency. And for people, being online, seeing a physician was not a norm. Now, COVID has done that they want that. They just want to be in their pajama, in their home, and see the doctor. And they prefer telemedicine. Higher education. Interestingly enough, a lot of this generation kids are going to college. So it's going to be a lot more kids in the college that we'll be seeing. So higher education is more of a norm. There was one thing that October 2020, more than 40% of the household reported that there will be someone that will be going to college. So that's actually first time in American history that is happening. Economic security, I'm going to go a little faster because of the time. I will try to catch up as much as we can, but I may go a little bit in the lunchtime, so please bear with me. Tuition, economic security is important for them, right? But look at this. More than 2 million Generation Zers moved back in their parents' home or guardian's home in 2020 thanks to COVID, and I bet you 1.9999 million has not moved out. So this is one of the things we as a parent are dealing with it, that kids are back home, adult kids. Before, kids, when they are 18, they wanted to go, live their life, make their money, do whatever they want to do. Now, even government is helping, right? The kids can stay on your health insurance till they are 26. So, okay, and mom and dad, I'm back home, you pay for my car, my gas, my insurance, my food, and I like to eat this. Civic engagement, they definitely want government to take care of them. And I'm too old, I can't fathom that. About why would I pay more tax so it can be divided between a lot of people but we won't go there. A lot of these kids are very liberal, and it's anything in extreme is bad, everything in moderation is good. When kids, this whole generation is becoming totally left-sided liberal, bad things are going to happen when they grow up a little bit more, and they are going to have a very rude awakening. We'll be very old at that time. So I am concerned about another 15, 20 years and what would be our state of health, and who is going to take care of us, and who is going to pay our bills. Is going to be very interesting. Anyway, they do harness social media very well. 62% of them think that their voices are more powerful online than offline, which is actually true. Racial equity, 48% are of color. So naturally, they are very open to having different people in their life. And there are no real major issue with them about interracial marriages or racial ethical diversity. They are very acutely aware of racial divide though, and they don't like it. 88% of this Generation Zers, they believe that African Americans are treated differently than others. So they're very acutely aware of it. Environment-wise, 73% of them will pay a little bit more to get earth-friendly products because they are spending their parents' money. And they believe in global warming and what can we do to help our planet, and which is a good thing that they do care about our Earth, Mother Earth. Mental health challenges. This is the loneliest generation. They are all online. Even when they are sitting next to you at the dinner table or on the couch, they are not with you. Well, now the trend I see is even we are not with them. We are becoming that we just text them, hey, come down for dinner. So, endless hours spent online, they do foster feelings of isolation, loneliness, depression. We all know what happens online. It's a show-off for many times, right? People are happy. No one put their status when they are down, sad, crying in a bad situation. Everyone wants to put happy pictures, decked up, having fun, party. So people who are not part of it, or that moment when they don't have it, feel left out. So there is a FOMO, fear of missing out. And that can actually hurt this kid's self-esteem, and then it's a downward spiral, leading to depression sometimes. Cultivating meaningful relationships is extremely hard. Because they know how to order, hey Siri, get me this. Okay, now try to say that to your wife. Right? So they are going to have very hard time cultivating those meaningful relationships. They have that compare and despair trap on social media. Eating disorder is more prevalent in these younger girls because of that, because everyone sees that, okay, she's so beautiful, I need to stop eating. No, please don't do that. Anyway, political activism, gun control, police brutality, bad things used to happen before, but now, as soon as it happens, there is a live coverage of gun shooting. So then people are more upset about it because of that. Even our times, war were happening, but we were reading the newspaper next day. Now, as bombs are being dropped, they are watching it. So that's the difference of this generation. 35% surveys said that their mental health has worsened during the pandemic. COVID-19 has not, we know that, but Generation Z has lost motivation to study. What was happening is they were in school, they were in colleges, and we were telling them, put your phone down, turn your screen off, read the book or study. Then COVID hits, everything shuts down. What do we say? Get on your phone, get on your computer and study. These kids remember, they are digitally native kids. They know how to split screen. And when teacher is whatever teaching, they know how to watch other movie. Right? So they, for 2 years, online learning, which was actually for the most part no learning. And I can say that because I have nurses in the hospital who has done online nursing, do not know how to take blood pressure. Right? So this is prevalent. Young people are actually learning at the job. That is the fact. So more quickly we understand that, better off our mental health would be. And 70% of the teens across all gender, race, family, income levels say that their anxiety and depression are significant problems among their peers. So I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist. I see this, and I'm sure there are many in the audience today. We see this, that children going to ER with suicide attempts and with significant suicide attempts. Actually, they are taking like 200 tablets of Tylenol. It's not even gesture. They really want to hurt themselves. So it's becoming crisis of our time. It is pandemic number 2 is the mental health crisis in this generation especially, because they lost the motivation to do well or compete and be better in the school or work life. And now, when we are trying to put them back in that modality, I'm thinking that COVID must have done something to their brain cells. It doesn't work. They are not motivated. They are fine the way they are. So, school, college shooting news that we hear, student death, well, it's forgiven, right? So, it's really debatable thing that is it affecting them positively or negatively? I don't know. They are able to get the debt, like a normal medical student would come out with what, 400,000 debt at this point? And then what Dr. Mehta mentioned, that rat race of not knowing how to make money but do pay $400,000. So there is that problem. Joblessness. Now, were there jobs available? Yes, but they were getting money from government. So for doing nothing, for COVID, then why would they want to do the job? So a lot of us who are going through staffing issue is part of this Generation Z who is not ready to step in the workforce. And that's where we have to look at our own kids and examine and see what they are doing, where they are in life. Politics and war is their favorite topic, and technology is of course affecting. Mental health, the most significant issue of Generation Z. Let's be mindful. 70% of them, they say that they need attention or improvement for their problems. And 57% are saying that they are more stressed than adults about issues that they see in the news and online. Sexual harassment and assault report is more, I don't know whether it is happening more or they are talking about it more, they are reporting it more, but 53% of them are affected with that. And significantly more, they report that their mental health is poor, which is a change in the shift. They are more open to get help at this point for their mental health, which is a good thing. They are at least getting help and they are willing to do something about their mental health. They do have more unmet social needs than other older generations, and they were 2 to 3 times more likely than other generation to report thinking about, planning or attempting suicide in 12 months, spanning late 2019 to late 2020. And that is continuing as we see on the reality on the ground level. So when you are dealing with young adults, this is what their mantra. Why? Get me something. Why? And right? And whatever they need it now. There is an immediate gratification that has to be met. And you try to tell them something, teach them something, I know mine. So mental health is one thing that I definitely want all of us to keep in mind as a parent. Our generation Z and Alpha, most of you are parents, right? Almost 99% have kids? Grandparent. Well, grandparent is allowed to spoil this generation's years. It's okay. This is the parents' problem, right? Anyway, as a parent, we definitely need to keep in mind that they are not just a mere extension of ourselves. They are their individual people. They have their own personality, they have their own challenges, they have their own value system, which is very different than ours. If we understand that, we'll be able to be open-minded about it. We have to understand that these kids have lost, they came through the pandemic, which is now ending, thankfully, who has announced that pandemic is ended. And May 11th is the emergency is also ending. So, but this last 4 or 5 years were rigorous for all of us, including Generation Z. So if we have lost touch with our kids, it is time to go meet them where they are. They are not going to come to you or us. We will have to go meet them where they are. Are they anxious, depressed, hopeless, apathetic, or angry about something? It doesn't matter what they are. They are our kids, they are our children. And we need to be remembering that unconditional love is the most prized value of being a parent. It doesn't matter where they are. Love them. Tell them that you support them. Because, if parents are not supporting in whichever life change they want to have, that is their extreme disappointment. They will feel not loved, being judged, which is actually not the case, right? Because we all love them. We love them, but we want them to do what we want them to do. And that's where we need to change our perspective. It's not about us anymore. It's their life. We do not need to live their life for them. Let them free. Let them decide. Let them make mistake. It's just like little baby learning to walk, falls down. We allow that baby to walk again, right? Do we say that, oh no, you fall down, you are hurt, I'm going to carry you all your life? Baby will never learn to walk. So our kids will make mistake. That's okay. Just be there for them. Give them that unconditional love that only a parent can give their kids without expectation that this is how you have to live the life. I'm not saying that don't have rules, okay? Rules are must. If you are living under my roof and you are spending my money to support that your liberal view, it's okay. But there are rules for that and you need to follow it. But at the same token, you do have a right to make the choice, making a mistake, and then learning from that mistake with me. You do have a right to do that. And I'm going to support you to do that till the moon and to the end. So let's remember that our kids are going through loss of enthusiasm about life. Our kids are going through sadness, depression, hopelessness. They don't have anything to look forward to right now. We need to be there for them so we can get that rekindle. That it's okay. We are, as a human race, we are very resilient people. We are going to survive this too. We are not going to be held back because of one pandemic, but we will have to carefully mend their ways of how they are doing it. So unconditional love, is it a signal that I need to stop? Unconditional love for our kid is the best way we can build that relationship back again and meet them where they are. If they are online, get online. My first Facebook account was created by my son because he was, this is years, like 15 years ago, he wanted to be on a Facebook, and my condition was, if I'm there and I'm your friend, then you can be on the Facebook, right? So meet them where they are. If your daughter is TikToking or having Instagram post, be there and be friends with her. So, and then don't yell at her at home for what she posted. Just know what she is doing and then discuss. So, again, I know there is no one size fits all. Every child is different. Every household is unique. If there is any particular question, do not hesitate to reach out to your colleagues, your friends, your psychiatrist friends who can help you, guide you in the right direction. Let's shatter that stigma. There was our 2019 campaign, mental health stigma, we need to shatter it. Let's shatter that stigma and let's initiate reaching out and getting help for our kids' mental health issues. Trust your colleagues. They know HIPAA. They are not going to your psychiatric friends. If you want to just go totally anonymous and get help somewhere else, that's great too. As long as you get help, that matters. Even more than their physical health, they give importance to their mental health, these kids. I'm so proud of them for that. So, and they don't mind saying that they have received treatment or therapy for that. And actually they are embracing technology. They are doing meditation with the app. They are doing therapy online. They are following their mood swings or their other dates online. So they are using technology very well, actually. So texting to confirm the appointment, option for video conferencing, electronic intake form. Can you imagine your Generation Z child trying to fill out that paper? Nobody will be able to read that anyway. Different counseling modalities than older generation. There are some cool apps that have changed the, like CBT for ADHD or depression, and they have changed it into a small games. So there is a lot of things available, and these kids are using it. Maybe we need to learn from them how to use that too. One other thing is suicide, that I really want all of us to understand that suicide is unacceptable, right? We know that. But as Dr. Mehta said, we are losing a class size every year of physician. But okay, let's not derail to that, otherwise it will be dinner time. But let's just stay on this, that suicide is becoming, suicide and suicide attempts are on rise, especially in this generation. Suicide, death by suicide has become #1 cause for adolescents nowadays, which is unacceptable. It's sad. So we need to pay attention to it. Of course, we all talked about COVID-19. What COVID-19 did is parents still had to work somehow. So the older sibling got to be the parent of that younger, because they were babysitting their younger siblings. Lot of complicated stuff that I hear, and I'm sure my psychiatric colleague hear about that too. Depression and anxiety, 25% increase. 2021, 33% rate of depression. So if there are 3 teenagers hanging around, one of them is dealing with depression and anxiety. So, and our kids are not immune from that. They are part of that statistics. Increased use of drugs and alcohol. Most concerning is this fentanyl deaths that are happening in teenage years. I think not only teenage, but even younger. One middle school kid died because he took one pill from his friend in the school. One pill is enough to kill these young people because we don't know what it is laced with. And they are making pure and pure and pure fentanyl. They don't make anything else pure, but they are definitely making pure fentanyl. This is a crisis of our time, and do engage with our kids so they do not fall in this trap of using drugs or alcohol. And then Generation Alpha, let me just quickly mention things about Generation Alpha. They are, by 2025, so in 2 years, there are going to be 2 billion of them. So 2 billion kids are going to be roaming around. So we need to understand, right? We are going to run into them time to time. They are even more diverse than Generation Z. And they are more likely to grow up in a single parent home. And they are more likely to be around college educated adults. And technology, they are born with that download. They have it at their fingerprint. They are always logged on and linked up. And they are, 89% of under 13 have smartphones. And you know what that means. They have access to those porn sites very readily. So your kids under age 10 has access to porn that probably you and I never saw before. So what it does? Addiction. Porn addiction leads to so many bad things in future. So keep in mind, check your kid's phone, see where they are going. Even if you think your kid is the angel on this earth, still, please check their phones. Please. It will help you with saving so much misery in future. Artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, there is so much talk about it. So it's going to be a totally different generation who will be dealing with so many things automatized and robotization. It's very easy for kids to just Alexa or Siri or Google, hey Google, do this. We are still trying to train ourselves to do that. This generation is not afraid of expressing themselves. They say whatever is, there is no filter. They'll just say whatever is in their mind. They do claim their choices, and they will obviously share everything on the social networks. There is no taboo. There is no discrimination. They share their very personal information online that older generation will not be doing it, even in dreams. They do have shorter attention span, and they do have delayed social development. School dropout is common, early pregnancy, because of several reasons, as we know, and divorcing is very easy for this generation in future because of poor social relationships. Okay, and COVID-19, well, screen time soar even for them, right? Under 10. were the classroom, screens were the babysitter. So that hasn't changed because we found parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, we found that, oh, this screen allows me to be not deal with this child. And we all want that. So we are actually hurting that next generation by not paying attention to the child. They are confined in home. There are no play dates for a while. So they forgot how to learn to live with each other. And a lot of canceled extracurricular activity. So their growth is little stunted in different areas. But this is a very common generation alpha that we are going to be seeing. Parental, as I said, active listening. Please listen to your kiddos. Role modeling. What we do always have a higher weightage than what we say. So they are watching us and they are going to follow most of the time our footsteps. So we gotta be becoming a role model for our kids. No shaming. Let's not put our kids down by saying that, hey, that doctor's son has become a doctor and you are not good to even go to nursing school. Don't do that to your child. Don't shame them like that. They are different. They have different interests in life. Dinner together, like the family who plays together, prays together, stays together, eats together is also one part of it. So let's make some family activities around in the evening time or whenever is convenient, where we are bonding like a family and we are helping each other out. Social relation, travel, and professional help if one needs it. So this is parental duties for our kids. So let's make sure that our kids are rooted in tradition, values that we have brought here with us from foreign land, but at the same time, give them wings and let them explore and experience this whole world that's going to be in their hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta. Don't you all agree that you should start a new talk show? Huh? I love that touchy-feely thing, but really very meaningful. And having two Gen Zs myself, okay, it really hit close to home. But your points were very well taken, gave us a new perspective. Let's open it up for questions. Just about 2 or 3 questions so that we can be not too late for lunch.
So, as a neurologist, I see a lot of patients who come with headaches. And they describe headache, they describe pain, they describe pseudo-seizures. And I extensively evaluate. The only thing I find is they're depressed. And they don't say they're depressed, but they come with these symptoms. And somebody puts them on medications. And they stay on these medications, and I have seen patients who have taken 100 pills of carbamazepine, and that was not even necessary in the first place, and attempting to commit suicide. I just want to make a statement there, because psychosomatic symptoms is what I see, and you are seeing psychiatric symptoms.
Absolutely. In back home and in even Mexican culture or other cultures, African-American culture, psychosomatic presentation of inner conflict is very common, and so having pseudo-seizure is mostly that inner anxiety or inner conflict that presents that way. Yes, we do see that, and my theory about carbamazepine is we use it as a mood stabilizer, as a second line, so that helps some with the mood. And that's why you see a lot of kids on Trilactol or carbamazepine. But I would say that as a neurologist, if you are seeing kids with headache, kids are usually the symptom of dysfunction in the home. So if parents are fighting, or if there is a financial stress, or if there is problems in the home, one of the parent is alcohol and violence at home or any problem, the kid is not going to be able to eloquently put it in words, but they will be coming to us, physicians, with some symptoms. So when you have that, if you have time in this day and age, do explore the home life. And I mean, we do explore the home life, because in some ways we are allowed to do that. We can ask very strange questions with a flat face and they will answer. But most of the physicians don't have that kind of a time to get deeper into the problems of kids. But yes, any kid presenting with that kind of symptom is actually the pathology of the home that is being brought to you. Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. One last question and then we can.
I think it's more of a comment than a question. Sejal Mehta, you have truly outdone yourself today. I've attended so many of your ethics CMEs over the last 10 years, but this was by far the best. And I think you touched us all because we are all mothers, or most of us are, and mothers of Gen Zers and perhaps even Gen Alphas. So, you know, I certainly didn't know what I was signing up for when I became a mom of 2 Gen Zers. I probably would have had second thoughts had I known, had I had any knowledge of, all the things that
It's never late, never too late. You can always start and go forward. And by the way, shout out to Dynamo Dogs. How many of you guys are in the audience today? So who are not Dynamo Dogs, for your information, Dynamo Dog is a WhatsApp group of DFW area Indian origin physician, female physician. And we are 400 physicians strong, diverse group, and it's amazing energy. By the way, we all need to have one picture, Dynamo Dogs.
Yes.
Right after this.
So, this Angel, as we were talking about, robots literally, what it as a geriatrician, I know that Gen Zers are not really taken care of this. There is no question in my mind. There probably will be a bunch of robots, running around doing the job of nurses and nursing aides. And I'm thinking of myself as a veteran older woman teaching others how to take my blood pressure. And it's not a pretty sight, but you left us with a lot of hope. The last 2 slides were very hopeful. What we can do, not just as parents of our kids, probably the Sanatana Dharma kind of concept, adopting more people under our wing, and how to help them, being model for them.
Just recently we put out data saying that robots are more empathetic to the patient than the physician themselves. So maybe we do have a...
That's in the psychiatry realm.
I think in the next talk show we can have Dr. Nayak come
Yes.
and give over. However, we will be breaking. Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you all.
Mehta. Big round of applause. Now, I just want to tell you a couple of things. We have lunch laid out in 2 places. One is in the garden area, which is right across. And then there's a couple of rooms called the Bel Air rooms, 1 and 2. So lunch is going to be laid out there as well. There's 2 places where you can grab a lunch. There's afternoon talk by Intracare on value-based care, and there's 2 product theaters in Bel Air 1 and 2, which you will see. So please go and spread yourselves there, and we'll come back at around 1:15. Okay, so let's try to come back around 1:10, so we can start by 1:15. How about that? Okay, enjoy lunch.